Over the last 12 months, my marriage of 10 years ended and I bought a canal boat to live on due to the kind of complicated nature of things like that. It took over 6 months before I could actually move on to it, and I think that gave me a real sense of displacement. It was kind of like a purgatory between a past life and a future one. It forced me to think about the nature of home, what it meant beyond a place to live and how that shapes you, I guess. I wanted to try and work out what it really means to me, as well as talking to others about their notion of home. I kept being drawn to certain songs of mine that seemed to relate to home in one way or another. You know, the people, the places, and the buildings that have been important in shaping who I am and my life as it is now. This record is a collection of those songs.
It's kind of not really a solid fixture. It's not really a graspable thing. It's like music. Yeah, you produce music, but you can't grasp hold of the vibrations in the air. You can't grasp hold of the notes. You can produce them, but you can't grasp hold of them. And what the notes that you produce is something different to what I interpret. I interpret in another way, and that is a very similar aspect to home. All the way through, you have this kind of cultural rhythm. Your home's built off your culture, the base that you experience that is programmed into you. Then you produce a home by the experience that you program into your children. Like my nan's house growing up was very much home as well, because every weekend go there and eat. So every time I go to my nan's now, I go in the fridge because I just expect to be fed. That's my homely experience of my nan's house. But now my cousins and my children and my niece and nephew, they come to mine and they just go in my fridge and they expect to eat because that's their home to them. And hopefully what'll happen is in the future, home will transmit or will transform, and their home will be a similar aspect of mine, but with little bits that they've added in from other places and other homes. I think that's a big important part of building a home. Taking other homes that you experience and adding them to your home. Like every Friday night's dance night was the same in my house when I grew up. We used to come home from school and we'd wait by the door, wait for Dad. And Dad would come through the door and we'd just jump on him and he'd wrestle, and then the music would go on. And it was party night, he'd get a little rum out and we'd dance, and he'd play us old reggae songs like, I've been watching you. And that would be the night. And that's kind of what I emulate to produce the home feeling for my kids. So on a Friday night, the music comes on and they know it's time to play and home starts again.
You say it softly, but it still stings. We both want different things, 'cause I'm happy as we are, but I know you want more. We can't keep traveling the same path. It's not a crossroad, it's an impasse. You gotta climb alone, 'cause I can't let go. So tell me, when did you realize? I know you don't decide, and I don't blame you for wanting this. No, I just wish there was a compromise, 'cause I'm sorry, I'm never gonna be that guy, and you ain't gonna change my mind. So don't try, no, don't worry. I know you gotta live your life, so if you wanna leave, that's fine. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's alright.
I don't feel English and I don't feel Scottish anymore. I mean, I do. And if someone asked me, I would say I'm Scottish. But I don't really feel like anywhere is like my proper hometown. Because I've been in England such a long time and I grew up in Northampton, but I don't feel like I belong here. And I think that comes from growing up knowing that my mum and dad didn't feel like they belonged here. I remember how my accent changed really, like I remember it like it was yesterday. In fact, one of my earliest memories, and I must have only been 5, was we were playing trains in the playground, me and my friend Natalie, and it was slippy, it was an icy day, and she slipped and she walloped her face on like one of the hook door things. My accent was really mixed at this point. It was like I sounded Scottish for the most part, and then the odd word was English. And the word that I kept saying in a real Scottish accent that really rung out to me was ground. I was saying, she just hit it on the ground. And they were like, the what? And I was like, the ground. I remember really like trying to sound like and say it in a way they would understand. I think it can be loads of places. Like my grand's house feels like home to us because we just spent a long periods of time there growing up, and that's in Musselburgh. There's like a beach down the road. I know all of that area like the back of my hand. We used to play at the play park around the corner, and like that definitely feels like almost just as much home as mum's. It's a funny one. I think that I feel a bit like not really from anywhere anymore.
It's in the colour of the buses and the emblems on the bins, the prefix of the phone numbers. It's the smell of the sheets. It's the lampposts and the team strip. It's the summer holiday dates. It's the taxi firms. It's opening the right drawer. It's knowing your way to the toilet in the dark. It's the almost unnoticeable detail, the familiar minutiae, and you only really feel it when it's absent.